Before we start, please note that the opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed on this podcast are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Trampoline Media.
You are listening to Indian Teens Unfiltered, a trampoline media podcast where teenagers across India
Speak their mind about things that matter to them.
and issues close to their heart.
Hello there, I'm your host Neha Jain. Welcome to a brand new episode of Indian Teens Unfiltered. Today we are going to meet four very special, courageous teenagers. While they are just like you and me, they have their own personal likes and dislikes, their own pet peeves, and of course, their own big dreams. They are also living with a certain kind or form of disability. Now, the Oxford Dictionary defines disability as a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. But when you hear them speak, you will realize that limitations are something they simply don't believe in. Over to them.
Hello, I am Naman. I am age 14 and I live in Karnal.
Hello everyone, my name is Shreya Singh and I'm from Kolkata. I'm 15 years old.
Hi everyone, I'm Sudiksha. I am 16 and I am currently living in Gurgaon.
Hi everyone, I am Shambhavi and I am currently in Patna. My age is 17.
Super. Thank you. So, how would you describe yourself? Shamvi, you want to take it first?
I would like to start with few words which I believe I am a correct motto of confident, bold, and a little bit emotional as well.
Naman?
So, some words to describe myself will be confident, brave, emotional. Sometimes I'm scared of some things, foodie, and a little greedy. And also love to socialize with others.
Nice. What about you? Shreya, you want to go?
I'm bold, smart, and intelligent, and sometimes I'm emotional. That's it.
Lovely. Sudiksha?
It's not something I've thought of, but yeah, I'm really kind and generous. Not to self appreciate myself, but yeah, I am a very kind person in general. And some other words could be helpful. I absolutely love helping people.
Now, since because it's a podcast, right, and it's not a video program and people can't see you, can each of you sort of talk a little bit about your disability? Yeah, Naman, you want to go first?
So, basically, I am a visually impaired and I was a visually impaired since birth. I can see up to 3 to 4 meters and I can't see colors or numbers or can't read. I can only see objects and only see the shape of them. I can't actually tell what is what. My vision only prevents me from banging into things, so it's useful to a certain extent. It has limited me in various ways. I can't play a lot of games like football, squash, or racing. I not only that, I cannot even play that many video games. Not only that, it also has limited me to a socializing factors because if you see friends, a lot of people have pity on me in school and I feel hurt that they don't try to make friends with me.
So I would not like to call myself as a disabled, rather I would call myself as a specially abled one. I cannot walk on my own right from my birth, and there are some instances to which extent it has limited me. Like I cannot dance, something which I love the most. But yeah, I don't think so that there's much limitation as uh, of we use the word limit here.
What about you, Shreya?
My disability is I can't walk and my hands are not working too much.
So it's known as cerebral palsy, right? Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about cerebral palsy because not all our listeners might be familiar with it?
सेरेब्रल पॉल्सी ऐसा होता है बर्थ से होता है जैसे कि आप जन्म लेते हो तो तभी से वो आपको होता है
Hmm.
तो मैं जब 3 साल की थी तब मुझे पता चला था ये शुरू शुरू में नहीं पता पकड़ा जाता है ये ऐसा है कि ये ठीक नहीं होता है कभी, ये आपके लाइफ के साथ ही चलता जाता है और इसका बस एक ही इलाज है, वो है फिजियोथेरेपी।
So, Diksha, because the topic of our episode is living with disability, and can you tell us how you are living with disability? Or, as Shambhavi says, with a specially abled person?
So actually, I am not a person with disability or special needs. It is actually my sister who is 13. So that means she is 3 years younger than me. So my sister's name is Satika, and she is on the autism spectrum disorder, and she is a high functioning child. To be honest, she is not my weakness or my family's weakness. She is our biggest strength.
Lovely. So, what are the things that you miss because of what your body does not allow you to do?
We miss having a lot of friends. A lot of people pity us and don't see us for what we actually are. Not only that, we miss playing sports because there are only very few sports which I think, as a visually impaired person, I can play. Others are outright not that playable. I also will have trouble navigating to places alone. When I actually turn 18, I'll also miss driving.
I miss letting people know because they refuse to know. They refrain from knowing me, that who you actually are, who I am, who Shambhavi is. I miss friends. I miss that social circle.
And what about you, Shreya?
हमसे सब दोस्ती इसलिए करते हैं ताकि ठीक है चलो, ये इसकी दोस्त नहीं है तो हम इसके दोस्त बन जाते हैं। मुझे ये चीज अच्छी नहीं लगती कि चलो बेचारी है, इसके इसके दोस्त नहीं है तो हम दोस्त बन जाते हैं। इट्स नॉट फ्रेंडशिप, इट्स कॉल्ड sympathy. And I miss dancing, but I can't dance because of my I'm I'm a special child. That's why.
And Sudiksha, what about you? Is there anything that because of the way your family is, there's some things that you cannot do as a family?
I am very thankful here that Sarika is a high functioning child. So there are not many restrictions with her. There are some, but we have, found our ways to wrap around it. You just learn to live with it, and it doesn't matter much anymore. Like, we'll do what she wants to do, it's fine. And it's there's nothing really limiting per se, but yes, there are some things that we need to be, very careful about. For example, if we're in a mall and there's an infant crying, that may trouble her. So we need to make sure that she is relaxed and calm, and we take her out of that place. There were times, sometimes that I would talk to her and she would not reply back. This is something I'm talking about during the initial days when she was still newly diagnosed and all of that. There were some, I wouldn't call them disadvantages, but some things that just weren't there, and it's not something that has bugged me कि यार ये नहीं था.
How much of your identity is linked with your disability according to you?
So, as I say, in my family and a friend circle, they never have ever called me blind or visually impaired or anything like that and treat me very normally. Other than that, in the public, whenever I go out and actually bang into some person or some person bangs into me, and like when people tell them, when they see that I can't see, they say sorry, sorry, Bhagwan tera bhala kare. So that's like something which is gonna, which discourages me sometimes because it means that I'm still linked to my disability and like people see me.
I can completely understand this.
Yeah, right.
I can completely relate to this.
Not only that, I would say in like clubs or in restaurants, I always need somebody's help for reading the menu, etc. And I don't like that because I want to be independent in every single thing.
For my family, they treat me as if I am like just a normal kid in the family. They do everything which can provide improvement in this, and they do everything which can please me in that case. But yeah, there are some instances and there are some people who make me actually feel that you are a disabled one. When I go out, some people say, "Oh, you are so pitiful that you are having this disability," or they sometimes say to my parents as well, "Oh, you're so pity. I feel pity for you that you have a daughter like who has a disability." So I just, I'm telling you the truth. I just want to be say loud to that person that you don't need to pity for me because I am quite comfortable with myself.
Yes, you are right.
So I just want to tell them that I don't care what you think, okay? I don't care what kind of thoughts you have of me in your mind. That's not even important to me.
Yeah, Shanvi, you are right. I'm totally agree with you. जब मैं कहीं बाहर जाती हूँ तो आई एम सिटिंग ऑन अ व्हील चेयर एंड क्रॉसिंग अ रोड, तो सब मुझे ऐसे देख रहे होते हैं जैसे मैं इस दुनिया की नहीं हूँ। मतलब सबको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं अलग ही ग्रह से आई हूँ। तो दैट मेक्स मी फील कि आई एम अ स्पेशल चाइल्ड। तो वो मुझे पसंद नहीं कि मुझे ये सिर्फ वो टाइम बोलने का मन करता है कि आप लोग मुझे ऐसे क्यों देख रहे हो, मेरे क्या सींग निकले हुए हैं।
So Shreya, you were saying that they make you feel that you are specially child. So
Yes.
show them that you are special. Do that deeds that makes you really special, and then show them that you were right. I am special.
Absolutely.
I would just like to add to the whole, the way that people just treat people who are not as, quote unquote normal. Because what even is normal, right? So, and there are so many people that have come up to my family and be like, अच्छा आप इस टेम्पल में जाना ना ये ठीक कर देंगे। अरे भाई, देर आर सो मेनी डॉक्टर्स एंड साइंटिस्ट who have not been able to cure these things. How do you think a Babaji is going to help us? I mean, and it's not like we are asking for help. We are not asking for help. We are fine with the way life is right now. I mean, sure, I want the best for my sister, but nahi pucha. I mean, sometimes their intentions are pure. कि ठीक है, we want to help you.
But that pure intention sometimes hurts also, na? Keep continuously.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you one time, we were coming back from somewhere, and the immigration officer, we were coming back to India, and at the airport only, this person was like, "Go to this temple in Kerala. This person will help you." I'm like, "Do you even know what problem my sister has?"
Yeah, you are right. ऐसा मेरे साथ भी होता है।
Exactly. This is where education should come in. That if they were aware about all these things, if these topics were just introduced in school only, and it was something that people are educated about, this could have been prevented.
It has happened with me also a lot of times. Like, I don't really have a choice. Some people in my family are very, very religious, so I had to go to at least, I'm recounting once I went to a mandir, I think 5 to 6 hours journey, and we needed to go there just for one day, just because somebody said that it will help me. And I don't even know the name of the person.
Yeah.
It did nothing.
Yeah. And so Diksha, you brought up such a great point that what is normal and what is abnormal. I think each of us is very different. Each of us is unique and special.
Yeah, I want to ask actually those people, what is normal? What is, according to you, what is normal? Just having two hands, one nose, and two eyes, that is normal.
No one is perfect, right? So what's the big deal all about? How do you want the world to look at you? What side of Shambhavi and what about Naman or what about Shreya do you want the world to see?
Basically, I want the world to know that I am a visually impaired child, but I have done great things and I'm not afraid of my disability. I'm very confident and very sociable, and I don't like people pitying me. And I have a passion for gaming and sports.
Fair enough.
And I'm a very good coder.
I'm very good in studies. I'm very good to talking and I'm very good host also. मैंने अपने स्कूल में बहुत ही ऐसे शोज किए हैं, खुद होस्ट किया है, कई शोज को। एंड मैंने कई जगह पोएम्स बोले हैं, कंपटीशन में फर्स्ट आई हूँ। और मुझे इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में मुझे पूरा स्कूल जानता है कि श्रेया ऐसी है, ये करती है।
I'm a good debater. I'm good in studies. I like to socialize with people. I like talking, and I can do almost everything which a normal person can do except walking. So I want the world to know me for my abilities rather than just one so-called disability.
So, Diksha, will you tell us a little bit about Sadhika? How do you want the world to look at your sister?
Everyone has a personality, and you just, with us, like people with, slight disabilities, you just have to be patient enough to know them, right? So Sadhika has her own personality too. She has a very colorful personality. She's got a good sense of humor, and she's so empathetic towards people. She's a movie buff, so every Bollywood movie she'll know something about it. And she will memorize dialogues like that. Like in a snap, she will memorize dialogues. She loves performing on the stage, and she's good at so many things.
You forgot to mention one thing, Sudiksha. She's also a sports person, right?
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that. She's a state level skating champion and a cycling champion as well. She has recently won a gold and a silver and a bronze medals. Like she's preparing for Paralympics.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Sudiksha. You've all spoken about your families, your home environment, and it's great to know each of you come from loving, very caring families. But what about the environment in school? Do you think schools in India are disabled friendly?
मैम सब तरीके से तो सही है, मतलब पढ़ाई वगैरह तो ठीक है, लेकिन दो प्रॉब्लम्स है। एक तो वॉशरूम में आती हैं। स्पेशल चाइल्ड को एक वॉशरूम में हेल्प चाहिए होता है, एंड वो नहीं मिलता है नॉर्मल स्कूल्स में। एंड सेकंड वाला जो है कि वो स्टेप्स पे भी चढ़ने में प्रॉब्लम होती है, जैसे सीढ़ियों पे चलते हैं ना। कुछ स्कूल तो मतलब लिफ्ट रखते हैं, लेकिन कुछ स्कूल में मतलब सीढ़ियों से जाना होता है।
India as a country is not that blind friendly. That's why a lot of visually impaired children, or even a lot of specially able children, if you see, have done great things. And a majority of them have studied outside of India after their 12th in India. A lot of reasons are there. First of all, as everybody is saying, people make fun of them. I have already faced about 2 to 3 ragging attempts in, though nothing major happened. Not only that, in studies, if you see, for a visually impaired child, we can't really take physics and chemistry in India. It's very difficult. If you see, there are a lot of diagrams in science. And how will a visually impaired person do it? That's what everybody thinks. They never actually make the effort to make it tactile and it's easily feasible. Not only that, in maths, like there are graphs, but maths as a subject is very important. And again, in my school, which I studied earlier till 8th, I always needed help in maths. I could not even do the questions with graphs and they were cut out for me. I just felt as if I'm lagging behind. I can't do it. I'm not that good. Even though I got 100% for 4 consecutive years, but still.
What they need to do is they need to educate other people that yeah, we are also normal, and this is something which needs to be understood by the people, that it's normal to be little different, it's normal to be little extraordinary.
What I want to say is the thing is, the government itself in India, a lot of people think disabled or specially able people can't do it. The government, Indians need to change their mind.
I think what you're talking about, that you want empathy and not sympathy, right? Does that make sense? Sudiksha, you want to add anything about the schools?
So I guess what these guys mostly talked about was about the physical component, right? So my sister, who is on the autism spectrum, she doesn't have many physical challenges, but there are a lot of things that the schools don't do. So right now, her and I both go to the same school, which is like a normal private school, a very well established and a pretty expensive one. But the thing is that there are still so many things that are left undone, even in a school as good as mine. There are so many things like the teachers. So the shadow teacher that we had appointed for my sister, that was bought by us. The school had no initiative in it. And there are still so many things that teachers are just kind of just take it very leniently about their education. I'll tell you one example. So but due to the COVID times especially, so we did not hear from the teachers until or unless we were late in paying the fees. It was only then that they were like, okay, can we have a meeting with you? We want to discuss about Sadika's progress. It's, very disheartening at the same point when you think about it. That they're just there to take your money and only then will they care about you. That too for probably like a week. And especially after we've mentioned to them that, okay, she has been skating and winning medals, then they have become a little more, nicer to her. Otherwise, I mean, sure, I will agree that they have done many great things. They've let her perform on the stage, they've helped her socialize, and they've done good things, but there are so many things that are not done, and we cannot simply ignore them. But at the same time, that these things will take a lot of time to, be corrected in our society. And like everyone else said, that there are children who will bully you or make fun of you. Again, this wouldn't have been a problem if these were just inculcated in our education system. That this wouldn't have been a problem at all.
Very true. If we sensitize our children right from kindergarten, they'll grow up to be empathetic adults. I mean, there's just no two ways about it.
So when my sister newly got admitted into this school, which I also go to, so there, I believe she joined in class first grade. So then that time, the teacher never told the other students that she was disabled. She just told them that she's a little younger than you and she doesn't know how to communicate that well. And it's just they never. Sometimes people think कि छोटे बच्चे को क्यों बताए, उनको क्या समझ आएगा क्या नहीं. But the thing is, people understand. I was a little child too, and my parents told me about it, and I understood. And I would like to give an example here. So there was this kid in my previous school. I was in grade 2 or first grade that time, and he had this trigger. If someone called him a bad boy or a bad child, he would start yelling and get very triggered from that. So there was this one time when everyone in my class, he started saying ki this child is a bad child, bad child. Everyone was just chanting it. And I was the only person who was trying to tell that kid ki, no, you're not a bad boy. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. So if I could understand at such an early age, everyone can. And it's not something that should be hidden from the other people because it's not something that's bad.
In the world around you, what is that one thing that you would want to change? Like in your immediate world, in your surrounding, something that you want to change, that you want कि ये चीज बदल जाएगी तो मेरी जिंदगी थोड़ी आसान हो जाएगी या थोड़ी बेहतर हो जाएगी.
So the first thing, as I said earlier, gaming. Sports like squash, football, again, it's not like the world's fault that visually impaired people can't play it. People are doing research, but yeah, they still can't play it. We can't do anything. Second of all, politics is a main issue. What I'm saying is, in blind cricket, and I'm talking about my personal point of view, people actually, you see, You get money if you win like a good tournament, like the World Cup or a inter-school tournament. You get money, you get rewards. And so what people do is, now if you actually go to a doctor and if you say that you are visually impaired and if you don't tell them if you can see or not, they'll give you your medical certificate. So what nowadays people are doing is, some people who are sighted are playing in blind cricket. So that's a very big disadvantage to the actual visually impaired person. And so that is one factor I need to change.
Hmm.
Cheating. Second of all, gaming.
Hmm.
I'm already working with an American developer to make a Pokemon game blind friendly.
Nice.
As for now, I want to write articles which make people aware of visually impaired people and other disabled as such, educate them. And yeah, basically, I want to write guides on blind cricket and also a education guide for the blind.
And there's only one thing I want to change in our country, लोगों का नजरिया, the way the people look at us.
I would like to tell them ki, ha, there is something which is special about us also. Come, look into that. You will find a greater world.
Any person that you look up to, someone maybe who has had a similar life experience as you? Is there anyone that you look up to?
I'm very inspired by characters like Helen Keller. She was both blind and like deaf, and we just know we have a book on multiple books.
मैं खुद की आइडल हूँ, आई एम आइडल ऑफ माई सेल्फ, दैट्स इट.
Okay, nice. I like your confidence.
So me and my family's ideal is Sadhika. We look up to her. We're just in awe. I'll tell you, just living with her has made us grateful, and we have learned to be happy on small, small things.
You're clearly an awesome big sister, and Sadhika is very lucky to have someone like you. But from your perspective, have you ever felt neglected, or because clearly there's a lot of attention on Sadhika? So has that ever personally, uh, I don't know, bothered you, affected you? Maybe when you were younger.
I mean, I would be lying if I said that, I got attention that every other child in a quote unquote normal family gets. I mean, sure, there were times when I felt कि यार मेरे से तो बात कर लो. But it's something that I've learned to live with, and now I'm just as involved, so I'm just as busy, and I'm also thinking about Sadhana.
What do the kids on the other side feel? Shambhavi, we know you have a sister, and Naman has a younger brother.
We maintain a good relationship. Sometimes we also uh, get into arguments, or sometimes we think ki, um, that I could also have gone there, or I could also have done that. But to her uttermost capability, she makes me feel normal. She makes me, whatever she does, I also do that.
If I say truthfully, he is all fight, no play. He's just annoying me at every single corner and sometimes says, no, he abuses me with like the worst words imaginable. I don't want to say anything here.
Hmm.
But if you ask me, I lock him in a room, give him food there, and never release him.
Spoken like a true older brother, huh? Okay, my final question to all of you. What is your big dream in life? What do you want to do?
So I want to make visually impaired people play as many games as possible. I'll make a game maximum 3 to 4 years in the future, and it's going to be at least 80 hours of gameplay. This I can promise. Not only that, when I actually graduate from college, I want to work on computers and engineering, basically mainly on computers. And if I can't do that, I want to go to chemistry, be a chemical scientist, a nuclear scientist, and a nuclear researcher.
Wow. All the best.
I want to go in Indian Administrative Service, and I want to bring a change for those people who are similar to me. Like I will go in the administration, and I will make it specially able friendly.
आई वांट टू बिकम अ लॉयर क्योंकि जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि मैं बात बहुत अच्छा करती हूँ, बहस भी करती हूँ और मुझे ये भी दूसरा पॉइंट मेरा ये है लॉयर बनने का, तो मैं ये दिखाना चाहती हूँ कि आप लोगों की सिंपैथी की मुझे ज़रूरत नहीं है। मैं अपनी पढ़ाई के बलबूते पे यहाँ पे आई हूँ और एक लॉयर बनी हूँ।
So my big dream has been settled since grade 5. It's just something that clicked that, okay, I love helping people. Psychology is something that interests me. So yeah, why not become a clinical psychologist when I grow up? And another part of my dream is seeing my sister in a, independent state. I really hope when she grows up, she is someplace where she isn't dependent on anybody. The day I see that, I'll be like, okay, now I'm at peace.
Lovely. Thank you. I wish each of you is able to achieve your dreams and many more in the next few years. And I hope that we move into a more and more empathetic world. And yeah, and all the best. And thank you, each of you. Shreya, Shambhavi, Sudiksha, Naman, thank you for being so candid with us and talking to us today. It's absolutely been lovely.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Indian Teens Unfiltered podcast has been created by Neha Jain and Ann Doshi from Trampoline Media. This episode was hosted by Neha Jain and audio edited by Prashan Ji. Transcription by Rohit Jain, intro music by Kevin MacLeod. We would like to thank Shubhra Chatterjee and the team at Indian Institute of Cerebral Palsy for their unstinted support. This episode wouldn't have been possible without our crowdfunding producers Michelle and Helen Kerhos and Sunil Doshi. A big thank you to Harsh Takru, Vibhor Gupta, Tanya Chopra, Amit and Deepthi Gupta, Geeta and Rohit Jain, and everyone else who generously contributed and helped sustain this podcast.